Story is about in a small town in Finland. Okay, and while the story is supposed to be in Finland, it could be in Ghatkopar, it could be in Aund, it could be in Baner, it could be in Chennai, it could be in Bangalore. Uh, there is a telephone call at 3 a.m. in the morning. This is a call to the emergency services. Just imagine the situation. I'm trying to paint a situation and an environment. 3 o'clock on a cold, wintry, rainy morning, an emergency call at 3 a.m. from a distressed woman, 72 years old. And she is got a very feeble voice and is complaining that she can't get up. She can't move. And she's not able to speak. And she says that she has received a hard blow on her head. Okay? This happens to the emergency services fire worker. So what does he do? He tries to calm her. He asks her for a name. He asks her for her address. He asks her where does she reside. She's not able to remember anything. What would you do? So he asks her, can you look outside and tell me what you see? She says she can see sets of rectangular windows and she can see some lights outside. That's all. So he asks him, do you have a light in your room? She says, yeah, there is light in your room. But she says, please help, and her voice is progressively growing feebler and feebler. The fire worker suddenly decides that this lady he must save at all costs, and he puts in a tremendous effort. He calls the supervisors, etc., and he strikes upon a brilliant idea. He decides, along with the fire department, they summon 25 fire engines. Okay? 25 fire engines at 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay? And this lady can be served only if the entire community comes together. So what do they do? Based on her, that she lives in a house with rectangular windows, they are able to come to a conclusion that it is in the old part of the city. So they rush the 20 fire engines into the old part of the city, various parts of the city. And then the telephone with the old lady is still on. The fire worker is listening to the phone. And he realizes suddenly, after 5 minutes, after fire engines are in place, he's able to hear the sound of a fire engine through the phone. So that means that one of the fire engines is near the old lady's house. But how do they know which fire engine and in which house? And there comes the beautiful way of deduction. So what they do is, they ask every fire engine one by one to switch off their siren. Okay? Switch off their siren. And ultimately they find out that the 12th fire engine, when it is switched off, the sound could no longer be heard on the phone. So by this they are able to find out the location of where this old lady lived. Okay, wonderful. So we are able to find out the street and the road where the old lady lived. But at 3 o'clock in the morning, with time running against you, how do you locate her flat? Interesting problem. This is where the power of the community came in. They decided that the entire street, they are going to blare loudspeakers, and said, there is one lady in distress amongst this whole street who has a light in her house. So they asked all the other people to switch off their lights. Not so difficult at 3 o'clock in the morning, but there are people who do odd things at odd times of the day. But everybody responded, and in that street at 3 o'clock in the morning, everybody switched off their lights except one. So they were able to quickly diagnose, they quickly come to the conclusion of where this old lady lived, and the rest is a foregone conclusion. The entire community, the entire street, the entire village, and the entire town got together to save the 72-year-old lady. She was hospitalized and quickly made a rapid recovery the next day. So I just wanted to illustrate this story about how the power of a community, the power of compassion, and the power of getting together to help a person can really compound and minimize all the problems that may have, and how the world conspires to be on your side.